you got your wine, cause I keep mine on deck. Now tonight, you guys know that we got 2 shows, okay? This show that's highly sensitive, and we got another that's gonna follow on our website, TashaKLive.com, right after the show, okay? So you make sure you have your notifications on both, all right? Now, for tonight's show, we have Pinky, the CEO of Slutty Vegan, who has now lost deals, okay, from being sued by only one person, all right? I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that. Also, Jeffree Star has taken to Twitter to out the Illuminati, but he ain't said no names. We're gonna talk about that. Now, everybody, okay, is in a sham over Kanye West. Before they was mad when he was talking, now they really mad and scared that he ain't talking. I'm gonna tell you where he been and what he been up to, and you probably should be scared, okay? And also, Sabrina Parr, fitness coach and ex to Lamar Odom, as well as Rick Ross and Tristan Thompson, came through the studio to check me. Who gonna check me, boo? She did, okay? We got an exclusive interview from her. And last but not least, the bishops, the pastors, the predators, they all fighting, okay? They are fighting on social media. I wanted to ask them, like, where were y'all when they had their reality show out on pastors, okay? Because this is the one that we needed. Bishop Lamar Whitehead, you know, the one who was recently indicted for wire fraud and all these other charges, okay? We're going to talk about that in a different segment. Took to Instagram to drag Kirk Franklin and his entire team. Says that he has some type of list, okay, of men that they've all been with or been around with. And there's this gospel singer that's a big gospel singer that has this list. And apparently he has AIDS or something like that. And he slept with these people on this list. And I don't know if Kirk Franklin and any of these guys is on this list. But Bishop Lamar Whitehead says that he has the list, okay? And y'all know better than the tested man who just got charges, all right? Y'all don't know. They ain't wrapped too damn tight. And if he mad, everybody else gonna be mad, okay? But we got the full video from Instagram. Now, before we get into spilling all this wine, okay, because I'm gonna spill my little glass, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and pour up my little glass for y'all so we can be ready after the break. We gotta take a moment to thank our sponsors, okay? And advertise what we got coming up on TashaKLive.com. So if you ain't subscribed, you know that you better be on this app, okay? Because we don't put everything out over here, all right? We're going to take a moment to brag about our sponsors, which means boldly raise a glass to hold that thought. We'll be right back after this break. A couple of years back, I had a bad reaction to some cheap hair dye, and it unfortunately put me in the hospital. My friends had asked me to seek legal action, but I didn't, okay? And I kind of wish that I knew of companies like Morgan & Morgan. When you're injured, you deserve compensation. And the size of the law firm matters. Morgan & Morgan is one of America's largest personal injury firms with over 800 lawyers and over 100 offices nationwide. And the best part is Morgan & Morgan is completely free, unless they win your case, of course. Over 3 million people currently trust Morgan & Morgan, and getting started is super easy. Just check out the links in the comment section for more information now. And don't forget, I'm gonna tell you what I got in my glass a little later, okay? So hold that thought. Now, the owner of Slutty Vegan, Aisha Pinky Cole, has recently been named in a lawsuit, meaning by one person, for unpaid wages, okay? Now, the lawsuit states that there's one employee, not multiple, so this ain't no class action lawsuit or nothing like that. This is one person, this is one server who is suing over unpaid wages, meaning she feels that the restaurant kept her tips and therefore she made less than minimum wage. And so she decided to sue the CEO along with her business partner. And because of this lawsuit, Aisha Pinky Cole, who we know as Pinky, and you probably had her infamous Slutty Vegan burger, as well as other items and stuff like that. The stuff really good. It's a little too mayo for me, but apparently everybody else loves it, so I ain't hating on the hustle. And I'm proud that she's serving plant-based products to us, and that she's one of us serving us plant-based products, and we don't always need fatback and ham and smoked turkey and ribs and all that to eat good and healthy, okay? So I fuck with her the long way for what she doing out here in the community, okay? And it bothers me when I see things like this, because apparently she had a host of TV press lined up, okay? The Today Show and other shows, but the Today Show has recently canceled her segment over an allegation. You see how these folks do? Kanye was trying to tell y'all, all right? Everybody want to be on television, but they not ready for what comes with television, because now you got to really walk a thin line when you out here making the kind of money that you're making. But Aisha, Pinky, Cole, that is not your fault, okay? Now, when it comes to this lawsuit, I think it's utter bullshit, okay? It's one person. You're a server. Servers expect to make more, but they have to understand that when you're a server, you're an entrepreneur, okay? So it's not up to the restaurant to hold your tips and keep your tips. This woman is a millionaire without your tips, okay? And if you weren't making tips, it probably has something to do with your lack of output, okay? I worked in the serving industry for almost 20 years, so I know we have some great servers and some not so great servers, and some servers that feel that they're owed just a bit more than they actually did and calculated. And especially if you work in a restaurant where you share the tips, and if you don't pull your weight, you don't get fucking paid, okay? And so I don't understand how you claiming how you're suing over unpaid wages, okay? And then you're causing this black woman who's worked hard to employ thousands of people, all right, through her restaurants, through her contributions to the community, and you are just one person, not a co-host of other people, because other people ain't quit their job. They still there. They still able to pay their bills. But you, for some reason, okay, are not able to pay your bills, because I feel, even though I probably wasn't there, but in my professional opinion, your ass wasn't doing what the fuck you was supposed to do, and you probably use this as an opportunity, because you know we have professional suers out here, and I'm sure if you pulled this young lady, a young man's name, you would see that this probably ain't the first lawsuit or first complaint to HR or the unemployment office about unpaid wages that she feels she's owed to. Now, I'm just gonna say, this is my professional opinion from me on the outside looking in as an entrepreneur, as a former server, that I don't think this lawsuit is going to stand up at all. And I really think that it's utterly disgusting, okay, that mainstream media wants to use this as any way to trash a woman who is extremely successful, and they couldn't find nothing on her, because trust me, this ain't the first time they've been looking. This is the first time they've had somebody with the balls to make it stick, okay, so that they can run and use any type of negative press to help her to look bad in the media, because she's making too much money and she's infringing on a lot of brands out here that are losing because they can't figure out how she's so successful, okay, in my professional opinion. Now, y'all just getting me started. I just took my first sip of wine. And so it burns me when I see claims like this, or a claim, because remember, it's one person, not a collective civil action, okay, amongst a lot of employees. So if everybody else ain't involved in no lawsuit, then obviously this is just one isolated incident. I don't understand why Pinky has to take to her Instagram to explain to y'all that it's utter bullshit that she's losing opportunities and money, okay, over something she's worked so hard for and has provided jobs for our community, that she's going to lose more deals over an allegation, a mere allegation, something that has yet to even go to court, okay? And so when she took to social media, I just had to use this as an opportunity to help her drag, or put words to drag the young lady for trying to comfort her. So basically, I'm going to say what she was trying to say but couldn't say, because she has to remain professional, but I don't. Okay. And so Pinky Cole says, since I was a kid, I have only operated with integrity. I don't lie, I don't steal, and more importantly, I don't play with people's money, okay? Ask all of the other employees that work for her. All right, also, she said, maybe it's the Caribbean in me. You know, they work like 14, 15 jobs, but God won't bless you when you operate in a fraudulent spirit, says Pinky. This week, I was named in a lawsuit for one of my companies, Bar Vegan, alongside my partners over an alleged unpaid wages from one employee. Again, alleged. Up until this point, I was not familiar with this ordeal or the employee, because I don't run the day-to-day operations at Bar Vegan. That's what happens when you hit a certain threshold of money, okay? You have other people see to them affairs, all right? But because it's a sexy story, To make a community leader look like the bad guy, this has become headline news. What do I gain with holding someone's hard-earned money when my blessings overflow every day? Preach! Look to your neighbor and say blessings overflow every day, okay? Preach it, Pinky. When I'm using my resources to put people on every day, employees included. That's no lie, okay? I know folks that she's put on, okay? My life's work is in service, and this negativity don't match my name. The people who know me know I only operate in integrity, so this is my wicked narrative, especially when there's nothing more than an allegation. My lawyers have advised me not to comment on this, but now my reputation is being compromised, and I'm being removed from an opportunity that I worked my entire life for, Pinky says. At the end of the day, my name means more to me than any money that could ever go into my bank account, and I will never let anybody destroy that, okay? Meaning they probably tried to come for the money. They probably tried to partner for the money. They wanted to buy the rights to what she was doing so they could probably put it in stores and everything, but she just kept it black on in her family and her Caribbean family and things like that, okay? She didn't take it outside the community and still employs the community while doing this. And like I said, ain't nobody said anything. She also goes on to say to get a call that I was removed from tomorrow's show because they don't want to be involved in the story headlines is bizarre to me, but all good. Now, I don't understand how the Today Show is going to cancel somebody who is trending in the news. Shouldn't you take that as an opportunity as a media outlet to have her, to ask her about that, to go ahead and leverage the viewers and all the press that she's getting to your boring ass platform? Shouldn't you do that Today Show? Pinky, don't worry about it. We'll take you over here, okay? This was a big moment for my career. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a big moment for your career, okay? It was a small moment for your career. It didn't happen because there's something bigger to come, okay? But God has other plans, okay? She confirmed just what I said. And so news reporters, you happy now? You can stop calling me. Here's your answer, but make sure you highlight all the good I'm doing while you're fishing for clicks, okay? And that is from Pinky, the CEO of both Bar Vegan and Slutty Vegan. And she has a whole host of other things that she has going on in the community and employs the community. There ain't nobody complained about their check thus far. And like I said, the Today Show, you are in media. You're supposed to leverage stories like this. Why not bring the woman on and ask her about it? Because it's still an allegation and it hasn't yet made it through civil court. And I'm sure if I were to pull the Today Show, who's probably owned by Warner or NBC or anybody like that, they would probably have a whole cohort of lawsuits too that are attached to unsexy headlines, okay, or messy headlines, okay? But we ain't gonna do that right now, later, but not right now, okay? This is about Pinky. So Pinky, listen, I stand with you. This is utter bullshit, but listen, you need to take advantage of black media. Say your ass in black media. Let them tell your story because they're the only ones that understand your story. And guess what? They're not going to cancel it, okay, when it doesn't match the narrative that they're trying to paint, okay? And so I stand with Pinky, all right? Moving on, all right? Now, Jeffree Star is getting on my last motherfucking nerve. I am so tired. I'm so tired of people like him, all right, coming out to say that they escaped the Illuminati, but nobody wants to name who the Illuminati is, okay? Let me read these tweets real quick. Hold on, because I'm telling you, if you're not going to come out here and tell the whole story, because everybody's been trying to put faces to the Illuminati. We've been assuming that these people are a part of the Illuminati. But if you know the Illuminati, you've seen the Illuminati, you talk to the Illuminati, and then you still have tweets up of you supposedly dragging said Illuminati, then it makes me think either you crazy or there's no real Illuminati because you ain't named no names and these tweets are still up by an Illuminati supposed leader, Elon Musk, okay? And you are a pretty big influencer, okay? Millions of followers. Let me read these damn bullshit ass tweets, okay? Hold on just 1 second. Now, makeup artist and YouTuber Jeffree Star reads, what a crazy fucking year, he says. I escaped the Illuminati in 2021 and they still haven't killed me yet. Every day I wake up grateful, and they ain't took down these tweets either, okay? And this was tweeted on December 30th, all right? He also goes on to say, in 2020, I was going to expose everything. In a matter of the days, the Hollywood elite tried to ruin my career, villainize me, and flooded the news with lies to discredit me. If you guys only knew the truth about what they are doing to Britney and Kanye, this also is a tweet tweet from December 30th on an Illuminati member's alleged platform, okay, meaning Elon Musk, all right? That is a different tax bracket, and they make different decisions that benefit the entire population, meaning Elon Musk talking about putting chips in folks' brains, okay? If you ask me, that's very Illuminati-ish, all right? And for you to even have a tweet still up makes me think you weren't in the Illuminati. Maybe you thought you was a part of the Illuminati, or they kicked you out of the Illuminati and knew that nobody would believe you because you ain't said not now name. And so all I want to say is, if you want to come out here and you want to touch on conspiracy theories, you want to piggyback off Kanye West and everything that he's truly going through, okay? Because he's lost a whole lot of money concerning this said Illuminati, and he has yet to say any names either. Y'all just be the fuck quiet, okay? I don't want to hear nothing unless y'all got some names with the word Illuminati, because I am sick of secret societies when y'all know the damn secret, okay? So if you don't want to put out the secret, we don't want the secret, so keep it to your motherfucking self. That's why they call it secret, okay? Moving on. Now, on to Kanye, okay? Let me sip some wine on this. Now, everybody was mad, was upset, okay? Telling Kanye to shut the fuck up, all right? The man lost $500 million in over 48 hours, okay? He lost his companies. They withdrew his money from the bank, told him to come take his money out the bank, and it proved all of the conspiracy theories thus far when they say that there's a high society that runs this whole thing, but yet I still have a problem that don't nobody want to say no damn names, okay? Please, y'all, we need it. We need it. Give us the names. We can handle it. We can help you, help yourself, and help us, all right? Now, after a string of PR runs and Kanye fucking up all his bread, everybody been telling them to be the fuck quiet. People been taking down interviews, drink champs. People been airing interviews, and then he's been losing clothes off the rack and deals of such. And now when the man finally gets quiet, everybody's saying he's missing, okay? Did the Illuminati kill him? Where he's at? I mean, where would you be if you lost almost $1 billion or $2 billion? Where would you be, okay? What would you be doing? If you lost the money going from platform to platform, where would you be, okay? You would be right here in this damn jacket with the Proud Boys, okay? That's where you would be, all right? So I understand where Kanye is coming from, and I understand where he's at, but a lot of people don't understand that because they realize that they pushed him to this point, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised by anything that he's doing or who he's hanging around or who he's now bonded with, because they pushed him to that point, okay? When you took his money, when you fucked up his bank account, when you messed with his family, all these things that he claims y'all did to him, okay? This is what it pushed him to wear, okay? And only the Proud Boys wear jackets like that. The Trump 2024s, 2025s, okay? Them folks, the tiki torch holding folks, okay? Just, whatever you want to call them, these are the folks that he's found solace is because they have something in common, okay? Remember that skit by Dave Chappelle? I'm telling you, this is giving me very much that. And people should be scared, okay? Because when somebody goes quiet after you fuck with them as hard as you fuck with them, you never know what they're going to do. So, of course, they're going to put out APPs and try to say you missing or you possibly dead to get you to say something because they don't know what your next move is going to be. And I'm going to tell Kanye, you know what? Keep it quiet because real gangsters moving silent, okay? Now, before we move on to our Sabrina Parr exclusive, she came on here to check me. I said, who gonna check me, boo? She checked me, and I had to respect her for that, okay? The ex of Lamar Odom, as well as Tristan Thompson and Rick Ross, came through to set the record straight, okay? So all of that is coming up after the break, along with Bishop Lamar Whitehead dragging Kirk Franklin and claiming that all these big pastors that we love are on a homosexual list, okay? That's according to him. These are his words, and we're gonna play that whole video along with his official statement to me about why he made that video, all after the break, which means we're gonna take a moment, okay, to brag about our sponsors, which means boldly raise a glass to hold that thought. We'll be right back. Listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, vitamins, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order. All right, winos, check out our Unwine with Tasha K store. We got sweatshirts that say, now I gotta go and I ain't got it. We got crop top, wine mug, water bottles. We got it all, okay? So be sure to hit that link below. Now, before we get into this Sabrina Parr interview, okay, I want to tell you what I'm sipping on. I am sipping on the Translation Sauvignon Blanc, all right? I love this because it's kind of like an affirmation type wine. So you see the cheers, bon appetit, taking care, nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? I love Sauvignon Blanc. This is kind of like my everyday wine. If I'm out at a restaurant, whether I'm eating, whether I'm not drinking or whether I gotta be drinking if I'm drinking, wine. Well, if I'm not eating, is what I meant, okay? If I'm not eating, I'm chilling, I'm always on the Sauvignon Blanc. It's light, it gives you just a light buzz, and you can still do your daily duties, okay, without getting sleepy tired, you know what I'm saying, the blood pressure dropping, okay? And in this wine, you have nose notes, okay? That means what you smell when you smell this wine. You smell some pear, you smell some banana, and also when you taste it, you taste a little bit of lemon lime as well as green apple on that, okay? So it tastes like a nice, elegant fruit bowl that you can pair this with, okay? As well as your whites, like your fish and your poultry and stuff like that. But I love to drink this, especially on a nice hot day with a bowl of bananas and some fruit, okay? Some melon and pear and green apples, okay? Because it adds some hydration to the body when the wine is dehydrating the body, okay? And so you want to stay balanced at the same time, all right? And if you want to try the Translation Sauvignon Blanc, all you got to do is Google it, find the wine at your local store, okay? I didn't pay no more than $10 for this particular wine here, all right? And it has 12% alcohol volume, so be careful on that. And remember to drink responsibly. Unwine with Tasha K and its affiliates are not responsible for your drunkenness, okay? We are all grown. Exercise wisely. Now, Sabrina Parr, finally, after 3 years of us dragging her in every which way, finally accepted an interview, okay, with us. Everything was on the table. There was nothing that she could not talk about or address, all right? There was a lot of things that she did not like that I said about her when she was, in fact, in a relationship with Lamar Odom, Khloe Kardashian's ex, okay, an ex-crackhead, okay? Now, should I say ex? Because they say that he is out of remission when it comes to the crack habit and things like that. So listen, we just going to keep Lamar Odom in prayer, all right? So without further ado, I introduce to you Sabrina Parr. And remember to hold that thought after this interview because we got Bishop Lamar Whitehead dragging all the pastors over this here list, okay? Sabrina Parr. Listen, we're just going to go and get into it. This is Sabrina Parr, okay? If you don't know who she is, all right, she's an influencer, fitness advocate. I mean, I got to tell you, your body looks amazing. So I'm glad that you are selling the fitness. Okay. I'm not hating on you in that department. You are
wow.
I'm not like, you look amazing. Like you can't hate on that.
You was hating. You said I ain't had no edges.
Well,
like, listen,
I did say that. But listen, that hairstyle though, that shortcut, you rocking it.
And if I didn't have edge, someone who doesn't have edges does not purposely cut their hair to look more bald. Okay,
I understand that, but you look good. I'm starting the interview off with you look good. Okay, and this is a different note. All right, listen. That was 4 years ago.
Is it a new year, new you?
It is. It was 4 years ago. I'm sorry. Listen, I want to start off this interview by saying I apologize for talking about your edges. I apologize for prejudging you. I apologize for not getting your side.
Well, nobody got my side because I didn't allow it.
Right. And, that's true. That's very true.
And that was for a reason. But what I think I said on one interview, I think it was with Lip Service, was if you scroll down my page to 2 years before everyone found out who I was doing the same thing. And if you pay attention to 2 years later, I'm going to be doing the same thing because whoever I am, You can only fake for so long. Your true character is going to show. And I just knew that over time, people were going to see who I really was versus what people said that I was. It's amazing how many people, just like you, had so much to say about me who had never had a conversation with me, who had never met me in their lives.
Right.
And
I mean, you were thrown into a pretty big, you were dating someone who was extremely controversial, who was connected to one of the biggest families, and you dated his ex's baby daddy. So you didn't date Tristan Thompson?
No. And you made me very angry when you said, now I've done TV and radio. You know, that was my first career out of college. I worked for,
I can see that.
ESPN radio for 8 years. I was an on-air talent. And one thing I do understand is certain terminology that you can and cannot say. So in the situation with Tristan, you mentioned, you said that you knew for sure it was not allegedly that I signed an NDA. And I was so confused. I was like, what would I even need to sign an NDA in regards to him for? You know, but that's just because there was one rumor on top of another on top of another. Now, what I will say, first of all, dating is an extreme word. Like, I dated Lamar. I can have a relationship with somebody or hang out with somebody and we've never dated. You know, like, so.
Y'all was fucking.
We had sex. We had sex.
But do you understand how controversial that is, though?
No, but not if it's 8 years before you even meet the next person.
So so what you're saying is, because I knew what I was saying wasn't a lie. I knew that you and Tristan were involved sexually. Yeah. Now, instead of me calling you a hoe and saying, oh, you just fucked Tristan, I said y'all was dating.
Girl, you said more than that, but we're not going to get into it because we said it's a new year. But the reason why, and let me tell you this. So, Tristan messed around years. So you gotta understand, Tristan's first contract was in Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm from, where I was when he got drafted moons ago. Okay. This was even right after I got married. I was divorced by 2016. So during that time frame, before I even moved to Atlanta, I hadn't even met Lamar. I knew nothing about, you know, anything with Lamar. Tristan and I were getting to know each other even before, you know, him and Chloe had going on what they had going on. You know, like, it was just so long ago and so quick. We did not date. We're still cool until this day, you know, because there was no falling out. So when I heard you say something about an NDA, I was like, why would we have needed that? Because we, you know, even when me and Lamar started dating, Tristan and I were still very cordial. And I brought Tristan to Lamar's attention before him and I decided to get serious, just so he would never have to hear it out of your mouth or Zul's mouth or whoever's mouth. And Zul only knew because I told her.
Okay. So just in case people are not privy to the information that you're talking about. So I had received information from Lamar Odom's manager at the time. And I guess a lot of the things that you're saying about your relationship with Tristan, how I got that information, a lot of the things that you had gone through, you had relayed that to Lamar before it came out in the public. Then he told his manager, and his manager in turn,
I told his manager.
Oh, you told his manager, and then the manager in turn told me everything that you had shared with her, just so Lamar wouldn't get blindsided. So you really liked Lamar.
No, that was not even the truth. And if you really you understand, Zul, which is his old manager, said all of these things once she was fired. So if she was really so-called concerned about Lamar and my character, why wouldn't she have spoke about this prior to her getting fired? Right? We got to look at the timeline. I didn't have the energy to put into what was true, what wasn't, because I'm a person that just likes to move forward, you know? And then if it's something that comes out about me that involves Lamar, I ask, do you want me to address this? Yes or no? Right? So when the thing about Tristan came out, which he already knew about, he literally said, don't say nothing. There's no point. I already knew because I told him. And when I did share this information with him, what he said to me was, you're a beautiful woman. If I like you, I can't expect nobody else to have liked you or tried you before. which makes perfect sense. And he said, I'm good. As long as I just don't like to ever be in a situation where I'm dating somebody and there may be somebody in the room that I also had dealings with. And the only person who don't know is the person that I'm with. I was never going to put Lamar in that situation. And to answer your question, no, I did not like Lamar. I loved Lamar. We were in love with each other. We were friends that grew into an intimate relationship. And I did have sex with Lamar. So you can stop saying that I didn't have sex with him and all of that. There was a time frame when we were abstaining from sex. Okay, which was his request.
That I was like, you got the man on the internet doing he watching porn. He talking about y'all ain't having sex. You pretty as hell. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why she won't fuck him? Is she afraid his cum still got drug paraphernalia in it? What? Why? Like, you understand?
This is funny. You see why I couldn't sit here? If I would sit here all day and address every rumor, every speculation, I would be like, my voice would be gone.
I understand.
Because it's like those who knew. Okay. And those who didn't, it didn't matter because they're not in the relationship. But if people really paid attention to our dynamic, how we spoke and the things we did, they would have saw the truth. And it was just a shame that there were some people who didn't. And I respect the ones that did. But I've never had to be desperate, like to be with someone that I didn't truly love and like. That's a desperation for me. I'm a pretty attractive woman. I've done pretty well for myself. Why do I have to be desperate for a man? They're out here, they're available, they're ready, and they're willing, and they're waiting. So to just have to go be desperate for one that, like you said, was extremely controversial, that's insane to me. And the only reason why I ended up with Lamar is because he pursued me very heavily. And there's been interviews where I spoke about, like, I picked him because of his pursuit, and he really put the work in. I had a lot of boundaries. I had a lot of doubts, and he proved himself through various things. Lamar, us not having sex was something that he was trying to do because he was working through some things, in his own personal life. He got with a pastor. The pastor was giving him some suggestions. One of those suggestions to help him deal with some of his addictions was to go through a period of time where he would abstain from sex. It happened to be while I was with him, and I said, I support you. So let's do it, but prior to that, I had already had sex with Lamar. It was like we started and then we stopped and then we started back, because we're human.
But do you do understand, like, it was kind of like the perfect storm. Like, you got Chloe, then you got Lamar, then you got Tristan, and you come in, the manager's saying that you trying to get on the reality show. You don't really love Lamar. And it was so much. It was like the story that just kept on giving.
No, it was a lot. And that's why I chose not to address it, because
you would have been out here, Chase. You would have been out here like
I would have been fighting everybody. And it was like, I just knew, like, I'm a woman of God. I truly understand how God works. And I knew my true character was going to come to the light.
Right.
And then this is the thing. We could say all we want to say. People still going to be like, I don't believe her. She lying. Like, I would have been so frustrated trying to prove something to people who don't matter. Like, no offense, but Tasha, you did not matter to me at all. You being every person behind the microphone did not matter to me, because we knew the truth. Him and I, our manager that we ended up with, our friends, our family, they all knew the truth. And
you do know, let me throw this little curveball. You do know, after y'all broke up and he claimed that you had locked him out of his Instagram account,
which he was saying that on, which was very weird to me. How can I lock you out of something that you have access to?
The same thing that Ozul said she did it. Like, his old manager who gave me the information on y'all too. Mm-hmm. And y'all past sex debate, she said she fucking went in and did what she did to his Instagram account. And so when he said that you was doing it, I was just like, damn, like, why does everybody come for his social media presence? And then he had contacted me to do an expose on you, and I refused.
I'm sure it was not him. I'm sure it was his team at the time.
It was his team. And I refused because I felt like, I was like, Lamar, come on now. Like,
Lamar would never do that on his own.
I didn't genuinely, but that same team came to me and gave me information on him
recently, because they're no longer working with him.
Yeah, recently, yes, because they're no longer working with him, and they said that he what do you call that when you revert back to using drugs and relapse, right? Said that he had relapsed and turned their house, because he was living in the manager's house, into a drug paraphernalia house, and somebody had OD'd in the house and they had to sign an NDA, and he's broke, and now he's sleeping with transgenders. Send me the pictures of him and the transgenders, and the transgender sending Lamar messages. I'm like, how does it keep getting this bad with one person?
So if you notice the pattern, pretty much everybody that he works with or is with, they turn on him, right?
Yes. Why?
I didn't do that, but yet I was the only one being attacked. I never said anything negative about him in the media. Now, I may have referenced things that bothered me. I never gave specifics. I never gave personal details. No one even knew when I left or why, to the point where people like you believed he left me and he broke off the engagement. I let people believe whatever, because people are around Lamar for the wrong reasons. And so when they don't get what they want from him and they leave, they're upset. They feel like they did not get a return on their investment. Every manager that he's had that has been fired or whatever, he didn't uphold to the contract, they speak negatively about him. And I did not do that. I did not leave dragging him. You know, there are things that happen between.
I gotta give you that. You didn't. You didn't.
And it's like, while I was getting drugged, even by him, I kept quiet and I just kept jump roping. I kept working. I kept doing me, because I was just like, you know, I know, like I said, I know how God works. And I just felt like no one's paying attention anyway, because if they pay attention, they can see the bigger picture here. You know, he is a man that has issues. That still, he's had some of these same issues since when he started in the NBA. And that's when everyone got to know him. But he had these issues before he got into the NBA. And so if he's unwilling to work on these issues, he's going to still have the same problems. But there are a few things that, you know, obviously I have a forgiving heart. I wouldn't be on this interview with you today, Tasha.
I mean, that's grown woman shit. You're a grown woman, so you understand. Like, if I have an issue, I could just address it as a grown woman. But some people just harbor that shit. Like, and I've never been opposed to anybody coming on my platform to set the record straight. Set it straight.
Yeah. So there were some things you said I didn't care about. You know, okay. I already addressed the NDA. Like, Tristan's probably laughing, like, the NDA, like, this is never even got close to even signing anything, because.
Let me ask you this real quick, Tristan, because he's a hot commodity out here. I mean, is the dick really that good?
I'm not gonna speak on that just because
I gotta get some confirmation from somebody.
So let me just tell you. Well, let me just tell you this: like, everybody's experience with him may be different.
Okay.
So I know that I have exes that really, like, they're now dating, you know, other women, and I know these women, I look at them like, I don't know how they getting pleased, because I know, you know, what my experience was with them. All of our bodies feel differently. What I'll say is, it was just best for him and I to remain cool. I cannot speak, but I do know this though: some women, when you got money and you handsome, everything feel better, right? So, you know,
I'm just trying to figure out, what is it about this guy? He got thick hips, thick thighs. I just don't get it. And
you know, he
speaks like a Kardashian now, like the way he changes. Did he always talk like that?
I don't say anything bad about him, because I don't have anything bad to say about him. Like, every person that I have anything with is not gonna be my husband, is not gonna work out. So, like, there's nothing bad to say. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And, you know, he also had a lot going on. So, but it's like, he doesn't end up with people. I mean, I think he's just having fun, you know. And I also will say this, like, everybody needs to lower their expectations of Tristan. He's a young man. Like, I don't even think he's 30 years old yet.
I said that. I was like, he doing what young men do. He's supposed to fuck
what
around.
What do you expect him to do? You
right.
know, like,
get it out his system. He's rich. He's young. So they think he's attractive. He's gonna fuck around. For him to settle down with a lady that's almost 40 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so I'm just kind of like, I'm never mad at Tristan because he's doing what people allow him to do. And he's also doing what most young, rich men do. You know, he has an appetite for women. As long as women continue to do it, he's going to get it off, you know? So I can't speak about.
Okay, I just wanted to know, girl, like, is it really that good? Because they don't leave.
They leave. There's only one person that hasn't left. They leave.
And you would think, like, girl, like, Chloe's not ugly to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think, like, girl, why are you sticking around? This is a whole child. You trying to mold into a man.
Well, you know, how you feel, I mean, how you look as a person doesn't always reflect how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through phases where I didn't believe I was that attractive and had my own insecurities and had to work through them and was making bad decisions before I worked through them. So I think we all have our seasons, and I just hope that, you know, Chloe does see her value and does understand, like, there is somebody out here that will treat you with respect publicly and privately, but you got to kind of sit down with yourself for a while in order to learn that, you know, in order to receive that. But I also know this: men know who they can try, right? Like, the men know, like, Lamar did a lot of things in his past that he never did in our relationship. And it pissed everybody off. And I'm just like, he knew he couldn't get this off with me, so he didn't do it. You know, like, if he thought he could cheat, he would. You know, if he thought he could disappear for months and come back and we still be in a relationship, he would. But he really knew that's not going to happen. If you come back, you might not have nowhere to come back to. You might come back, I got a new man. And stop saying that I cheated on that man with people. Like, Tasha.
That was
who said these things?
That was old Zool.
Zool is crazy.
That was the management team. Everything else was right. I assumed that part was right. What do you want me to do?
I don't know what you said that was right. I messed with Tristan. She said I had sex with him 4 times. Like, that's not true, but okay. Like, and if it, like, how do you even think you know that? Were you there, Zool? Like, did you take a tally every time? Like, you didn't even know.
I'm going to call Zool back to the show.
Zool is she's different, you know, but Zool was upset that she got fired, and she got fired. See, a lot of stuff came to the light when I came in the picture. There were a lot of people using him. You know, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense around him. And so I started investigating. Like, what do you mean you don't get a check? Like, it was just a lot of different things. And so through my investigations, and not just mine, I had somebody do an audit, you know, just so we can see, because I'm like, you're not getting money from this and that. Like, you didn't get money from the house Chloe sold. You're not getting money off the fragrance. Like, these things are still being sold, you know, like, utilized. It's yours. You should have money. And so when we started looking into these things is when I started finding out who was who. And Zool was creating fake contracts. So, for example, if someone came to her and said, I want to pay Lamar $30,000 to do a speaking engagement, she would rewrite the contract and make it say $15,000. And she was pocketing the money. And the reason why I found this out is because every contract he had, I went to the company and asked them for a copy of that original contract. It was not matching the things that he was signing. Because of these iPhones, you can have anybody's signature. Zool was signing Lamar's name with the electronic signature as if he's signing off on this contract to get the money sent to her. And then she was dispersing the money how she felt. And this is the first time I even said this. Like, I never even explained this to her, and I told him don't explain. I said, she just fired. You know, her explanation, she's because this is the thing, she threatened to sue him and all these different things, but it never happened because you can't sue someone who actually has a right. Like, you breached the contract.
So you came in and basically just shut shit down.
Yes.
And then she came to my platform.
And she was so angry about everything. But the crazy thing is I still have messages of Zul praising me, worshiping me, saying that I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. Blah, blah, blah. He's been sober. He's been this since I came in his life. But that only mattered as long as we all were together. If she got pushed out, now she hates me. And so, but that's just how people are,
I know. Oh, trust me, we know.
People are like sponges, like they soak up all they can and then they ring themselves, it's just like, and I felt bad for him that he didn't know who these people were around him that were literally using him. But they knew, like, as long as he's high, as long as he's not paying attention, they can do whatever, and this was a painful process for him because it was like he's now having to see who these people truly are, and so of course they were mad at me and I can take the heat. Like what I do know is that I can deal with the lies better than they can deal with the truth. So I just let them say whatever they're gonna say.
That was deep. That was real deep. Yeah.
And I just had to get to a point like, okay, am I going to waste all this energy on clearing the air, showing screenshots? Because these things, Tasha, I could have shut down everything that was ever said with one text. I have everything. But for who? And I just kept asking myself, like, who am I doing this for? Who am I clearing the air for? Lamar knows. That everybody, his friends know, my people know, like everyone that was around us know the truth. So who am I doing this for? The media? For them to just go over the story and do something else the next day?
Is it true that according to his old manager that brought us all the other stuff with Tristan and everything like that, is it true that you wanted a specific ring with a certain carat?
And first of all, I was not even into jewelry. So I didn't even know about carats in jewelry. Like people were having to put me on to what type of jewelries and what solitaires are. I didn't know anything. So that's 100% not true. And there were jewelers who got wind that we were looking to get engaged, coming to us saying you could pick a ring out and we'll do a whole show thing about it. That's just what they do in Hollywood, right? It's what they do. It's just how everyone's engaged.
So that's how the reality show concept kind of came about. Because when his manager came to me, she was just like, oh, yeah, there's this contract that she's going to have this type of ring and the proposal has to go this way in order for her.
Show you the contract?
She did not show me the contract. No, she did not.
So it didn't exist. So we were never approached with a reality show until we met Robert Rush, who now is the co-owner of For Us By Us Network, Love Rush. Before that, it was Basketball Wives, it was Atlanta, it was just all those other shows that were trying to get us on there. The thing was, when Lamar met me, I was currently filming a show in Atlanta called Sweat ATL. It was a pilot done by T.I. for WeTV. I was one of the main people on the show, but it was fake. So they were having me dating some guy. I don't even remember the guy's name and fighting over him, whatever. I agreed to do it, number one, because it was about all the trainers and the gyms in Atlanta. It fit my storyline. And I felt like, what's the worst that can happen? Like I'm pretending to be a trainer, but I am a trainer. It was just some storyline issues. So anyways, I'm filming this show. I'm in the middle of filming this show when I meet Lamar. As we progress and we're dating now, I can no longer do the show because it's public that Lamar and I are dating. And on the show, I'm supposed to be dating some other guy. So WeTV comes to us trying to figure out how they can fit Lamar in. Mm-hmm. You can't. You don't have enough money to fit us in. Like, I understood the value of us being together and what that represented for the Black community. Like, I'm not stupid. And I'm also not just chasing a check because I would have took it. What I told them was, I know we have bigger opportunities to tell our own story. And if you're not offering us stock in the show, which would make us producers, it's a no deal, right? So that is when Rush, who came to us, who was actually one of the casting directors for Love and Hip Hop back in the day, and said, I'm starting my own platform. I would love to get you guys on your own show. You can produce it yourselves. That was more appealing to us. Hence why we ended up with our own show on the For Us By Us network. We were able to bring whoever we wanted on the show. It wasn't a storyline. It was just literally our true lives. So Zool, because she was originally his manager, was going to get a cut of that, right? Because she set up the meeting. That's the only other contract. She's the one, because in order to get to Lamar back then, you had to go through Zool. And so Rush contacted Zool. Zool set up a meeting for us. Anything that she helped create, she got like 10%. So she was able to get 10% of the reality show. That was the only thing that ever happened. There was no other reality show. There was no talks of rings. As far as setting up a proposal, I knew Lamar wanted to propose. I knew this. When he did it, I was totally shocked because I thought it was going to happen in front of some cameras, to be honest. I thought it was going to happen for our show further down the line. You know, he wanted to do it in a privacy setting, which I'm glad he did, because I mean, even though he did it that way, people still believe that it was staged, you know, but he did it when he felt ready. And I was totally shocked. I had no idea. So all of that other stuff, she just was making up stuff. And just to be honest, I don't even know what was said that was true.
So what else did you want to address as far as
I wanted to address you calling me a deadbeat mom. Tasha, it brings tears to my eyes to even have
her. I said that. I don't even remember that. I don't. You know, I drink a lot of wine.
You said I was a deadbeat mom, and you said I practically handed my kids over to CPS myself.
I remember. Okay, I remember. I had received your arrest record.
That has nothing to do with me being a mother.
Like, you had, okay, I remember. Now my memory's coming back because that was like 3-4 years ago.
Remember, I got some notes.
Okay, all right. So, but I'm telling you what I like, why I would say that. So apparently you had been in a relationship. This was before you had transformed your body, transformed your life. I didn't even know that was you in the videos. I said, this ain't Sabrina because of how you look. No, I was like, no fucking way. And then when I saw the charges, it was kind of like, don't quote me. I don't have the charges in front of me, but it was something along the lines of you not having custody and losing custody of your kids because maybe you went to jail or something like that.
Yes, I did.
So I referenced that part because I was like, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way that this is Sabrina.
You have to chill, okay?
Okay.
Woman to woman, okay? Because the next mama may not play so fair, you know, like, because I empathize and I have a forgiving spirit. It's just who I am. I was like, we're going to talk about it though, because
I appreciate that.
Going through a divorce, first of all, I got arrested because my husband was violent. Okay. And I'm a fighter. I'm going to fight back. That is why I went to jail. And so what happens is if someone is more beat up than the other person, guess what? The beat up person going to jail. That's just what it is. And that particular night, it was either going to be me or him. Okay. Period. Thank God he did not die. There wasn't more damage, or I would probably still be in there today. I got sentenced to a year, only did 6 months because I filed an appeal, won my appeal, charges were dropped. They redid my entire case because what happens if there's two people that get into a fight and there are no witnesses, it's literally a trial of hearsay. Right, like
whoever word against his and what the state
exactly. And then
the charges.
What did not work in my favor is his damages. Like he was physically hurt. That's the only thing that didn't work in my favor. But anyways, once they went through the trial, when I appealed, they found the errors and I was released. I did 6 months. Right during that time, I did lose custody of my kids. That was back in 2015. Tasha, my kids were 2 and 3 years old. All they knew was me at the time. They don't even remember this happened. They're going to have to look on the internet to be like, Mama, you went to jail? You know, like, and for what? That's how small they were. By the time I got out, I only missed 6 months. That was like a McDonald's drive to my son who was 2. You know, my daughter thought I was in school. She was 3 turning 4. She literally believed mommy's in college. She's in school learning. Right? Like this is what me and my mom arranged. We would tell her when I talk on the phone, mommy's away at school. She's learning, you know, things of that nature. So when I got back home, I hopped right back into a mommy role. It was not easy because now I'm divorced. You know, thank God my ex-husband brought my son back. My daughter was, you know, by a different man. So that was a different situation. But I did everything for my kids. Even when I was going through the abuse in the marriage, some of the reasons why I even fled was because of my kids. And I would flee with my children. The law says, and you should know, is when you're married, if you take the kids without the husband's permission, that's kidnapping.
Right.
I would have to keep coming back sometimes. I'm not dropping my kids off and leaving. It's either I'm coming and I'm staying, or we're all leaving. Right. So it was a lot to work through just because there were children involved. And so that bothered me because everybody knows I am the coach of my kids. Like, there is not anything that they're involved in that I am not involved with. You know, like, I literally moved back to Cleveland and left Atlanta, where me and Lamar were staying, to be with my daughter. You know, I had shared parenting with her dad, so he would have his days, but on the days that he had her, things weren't going right. So I'm like, I need to be able to be there and be one block away if something happens on his day. I could never be a deadbeat mom. I'm not that mom that just said F the kids and gone off. When I was living in LA, my son was there with us. Hence why you saw him on Dancing with the Stars. Like, I have pictures with him. I wouldn't even have dated a man that couldn't be involved and be a good role model for my kids. I even told Lamar's son, I will not marry your father until he becomes a better father to you. LJ knows I said this, and I stood by that. He never became a better father. I didn't marry him.
You know, and that's another thing. Before we move on to that, because I want you to hold that thought on that Lamar's daughter, because she did reach out about you as well to me.
I'm sure she was reaching out at one point to everybody.
Yes. But I did want to tell you, as a mother who's a mother, I do apologize for calling you a deadbeat mother on my platform.
I don't know if you be mad, have attitude, be on a period, or you just like, I'd be like,
I refer to the notes that are in front of me. I put on my glasses and I'm like, this looks very deadbeat motherish. You know what I'm saying? 6 months. I ain't never been away from my kids, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? As far as like going to jail and stuff like that. And then it was just kind of all the elements. It's like the perfect storm. And you know how y'all celebrities and shit, y'all lives be so fucking inflamed. It's like you just never, like, God damn, what is gonna happen next?
Yes, that's true. But I don't like to talk about my kids and that so much because everybody can see it. There's people at the school that be like, oh, did you see your mama talking about this? You know, like, this stuff doesn't get deleted. So I try my best to leave my kids out of the drama, but it's hard, you know, but it's like the more I talk about it, the more the storyline will continue.
Right.
So I really had to clear the air with that because
I get you, and I appreciate you bringing it up because, you know, you could have harbored that and still been pissed and refused to come on the platform. But I'm just glad that you're grown enough and you woman enough to be like, listen, I didn't like that. And I could be woman enough to say, I apologize. No excuses. Okay. So
another system of your validity to when you get these,
it wasn't like, but you got to admit, I didn't think of it out of thin air. I didn't just make up chart. I was just like, she went to jail, lost custody of them kids. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something I made up, but I get how, you know, not having the full story as far as, you know, you can have a piece of paper that states the charges and stuff like that, but there's more to the story. And so, and we've reached out to you before to come and clear it up and you declined.
Yeah, because it probably was at the height of the time when him and I were just breaking up.
Yeah. I did reach out to you.
Everybody during that time.
Okay.
The only interviews I did was because I was on a contract with OWN Network when I was releasing. They did a story on me, but I had a contract with OWN to do a tour, like a promo tour for the show that included a few interviews. I was going to do those, get them off the way, and then I was done because I didn't. And it just so happened that story, that show Behind Every Man was dropping around the same time him and I broke up. So we couldn't even focus really on the show, which was an amazing show. They did if you want to know any truths about me, go watch the show Behind Every Man, because my mother was on it, crying just about who she was as a mom. You know, it's my entire life story. Lamar is speaking, my old high school coaches, my college teammates. They interviewed very important people out of my entire life to tell the story about who I was. And it's crazy that nobody has really referenced that at all.
I haven't seen it. I'll go watch it. Listen, I'm not opposed to watch it. I just didn't hear about it. I didn't see it because I love to watch
I didn't push
autobiographies on people.
And let me tell you why I didn't push it a whole lot.
Why?
Because I didn't want people to, because it was around the time him and I broke up. I did not want people to think I was only pushing this show to be clout chasing. Because that's what it was going to appear.
Fuck that. It's a part of the business.
I was just like, I posted it and then I was just kind of done with it. You know, but it's so well written. Oprah and Carlos was the producer. He did an amazing job. It's such all the storylines. They had Kirk Franklin's wife on there. Big Sean was on there. Faith Evans and Stevie J. They did a lot. They did some really dope storylines, and I happened to be one of them. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying.
It's okay. No. You were saying that if people wanted to get to know you, to watch that show, but the reason you really didn't address or come on my show or accept the invitation is because a lot of that was going on, and I do understand that, and I do get it.
Just too much.
It's all about timing. It's all about timing.
Like, people understand that I'm grieving.
But did you see my prayers for you?
Oh, I did see that, which is another.
You gotta give me some credit now, because I was like, listen, we can talk about these people, but when it come to death, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, and I don't wish that on anybody, especially that's a mother and stuff. And so I'm so glad that you were able to kick cancer's ass, and you are here with us today to even talk about it, because that's what it boils down to. And if you ever notice, I don't cover death and stuff like that on my channel, because that's a whole nother arena, and people are grieving. People have kids, they have aunts, uncles, moms, fathers, and stuff like that, and they shouldn't have to watch people give opinions on people's sicknesses or death. So I only send just wellness and blessings out on that. And so I truly meant that with everything in me. I was like, we can report on the bad. We can definitely report on good, or pray when they need prayer in times of this. You see what I'm saying?
No, and that was the only reason why I came on the show, to be honest.
God.
Everybody was like, why would you talk to her? Like, don't go on there.
They always say that.
You got something good about her, because she would never say this aspect of it. Because there were some social media outlets that didn't say a word. You know, about like, I'm really undergoing surgery. Like, I'm scared to death. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. I'm trying to figure out like how someone as healthy as me can even get sick to this, degree. And most of it was stress. That's when I really started learning like how stress can really kill you. So it happened for a reason, but you showed a little life there when you.
I'm a human. Listen, I come on here, I enlighten, but you have to understand, it was like you were dating somebody that was controversial, and he's still somewhat controversial. Like listen, the last story, I just couldn't even report on it. That's how bad it was. Like, his management team came to me, and I was like, okay, at some point, y'all have got to take responsibility. Okay, at some point, this can't all be Lamar.
No.
The relapsing, even if he's now sleeping with transgenders, like, why are y'all bringing me this shit? Why?
And it's like, why do you guys bring it once you guys are no longer working together?
Exactly. I said, what is the point? I said, the only way I would take it is if y'all were to come on the show and sit down yourself. They refused. They
probably don't want to show themselves.
Exactly. So I'm just like, well, then it's not going out. So if you don't want to come on and say
about those ladies, those are horrible ladies.
You know the ones I'm talking about?
100%. I know them better than you think I know. Okay. And the reason why I don't speak on them is because I've learned a lot through walking in this lane. Some people just want their name spoken, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. Some people just want to be named. They want to be popular. They want to be cared about. And I'm like, I will never give these ladies life. Okay. But I know them better I've known them longer than Lamar. I am the reason why Lamar met them. I'm just going to say that. And so they were team Sabrina way before they were team Lamar. And I just knew like that story runs so deep. And get so challenging, people will be like, what in the heck has been going on? And I just didn't want to do all that diving, because then they've won. If I say their name and I just get to start saying who they really are, they won, because all they wanted was to be famous. That's
well,
all.
I'm like, if they wanted to be famous and they really wanted this story out, they would come sit down, because I'm just like, yeah, y'all have receipts, but at some point, like, Lamar obviously suffers from addiction, okay? And it seems like every time there's a relapse and something goes wrong between the management team, they run to the internet, and it's like, at this point, this man is suffering. And what if it's his last hit because maybe he's embarrassed? And I'm not going to allow you to come on my show to talk about said transgender. Like, if you want to talk about it, you come talk about it, and you're going to answer these questions about why you even bring it. So telling me that this man is now relapsed and somebody has almost died in the house that you let him live in, and he ain't paying you rent no more, and now he's sleeping with men and shit like that, and you know this man has a problem, it's like, what does that make you?
Yes.
So I told him, I said, you want it out, come sit down. They didn't want to come sit down. Disappeared.
That's also like, look, I love Lamar to death. He knows this deal. Despite what people believe, him and I still talk. Like, we are not enemies. He'll go say something negative about me online and get right on the phone with me. Like, he ain't got them all. But because I understand that, I knew I can't go on the internet telling the truth about Lamar. He cannot handle it. He might take his life or do something to himself if these truths are too hard for him. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I fully understood, like, he cannot handle a whole lot of negativity and people knowing, like, his deep secrets being revealed. That's not going to be what I'm going to do. That's not going to be the role that I play in his life. Right. So even though I didn't like a lot of things that was said and how things were done, I chose not to respond publicly because I just knew, like, his whole world gonna fall apart. And I already knew his world was falling apart when I left it. And he didn't chose.
It seems like you chose to look at where the reference point was. Like, instead of dealing out of anger and emotion and knowing that you can completely slaughter this person, you're choosing to exercise grace because you know it's coming from an addictive spirit. You know, it's coming from a spirit who doesn't have control of their emotions, because obviously addiction leads to that. You don't have control of self.
Let's be honest. Most men don't like to feel rejected.
Yeah.
You know, a man that proposed to a woman, had publicly expressed his love for her, and then she leaves him, he's rejected. So I knew it was coming from a place of ego. Oh, let me hurry up and say some bad things about her before they think it was me. You know, and I think he believed, like, if he talks bad about me, other men aren't going to like me. And that's just the furthest from the truth. The more you say my name, the more another man is interested in getting to know me. You know, and so.
Speaking of other men, you was fucking Rick Ross for real? Now, unfortunately, this interview ran over an hour long, and I didn't want to put the whole hour here, okay? But we gave you the meat and the potatoes. Now, if you want to hear about her relationship with Rick Ross, okay, and any other person that she's dated, all right, she threw some major shade at Miss Pretty V, who was parading herself around with everybody's man, all right? You're going to have to go and watch the full interview on TashaKLive.com after this show ends, okay? It is available there, okay? And I just wanted to allow her the platform to say what she had to say to me, because everyone has the right to challenge exactly what we put out, okay? I stood firm in what I believe, but I did apologize to her for dragging her edges, okay? And I see that she had them covered up during this here show, but she's still beautiful, okay? Edges or no edges, she's still beautiful, okay? So shout out to Sabrina Parr. Remember the full interview, the extended interview, all right? As well as what it was like to be sexually involved with Mr. Tristan Thompson, okay? Tristan Dick Thompson is on TashaKLive.com, so you're gonna have to subscribe there. The link is below to watch the full interview. Thank you, Sabrina, okay, for coming through to drag me, okay, classily. All right, now on to Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Okay, now I got a text. All right, I happened to be in an interview. You guys know that we just came back from Africa, and so I was a little behind, not a little, a lot behind on work. Okay, and he sent me a text to say that he was about to go live. I didn't know what he was gonna go live about. Okay, but I know that I had to do an interview with John Gabbana, former Boot Gang, on Instagram, so I couldn't get on his live until afterwards, okay? And he did tell me that he was about to drag Kirk Franklin, but I didn't know he was going to say all this.
I want y'all all to tag Kirk Franklin. Let me tell y'all something, man. These these church leaders, y'all not gonna make me kill myself because of y'all bipolar lie. Y'all some bipolar liars. I want you to tag Kirk Franklin. It's my time now, Mr. Franklin. You want to talk about me? No problem. Now it's my time. Y'all got the right one. Oh, y'all got the right one, baby. At the wrong time. Because y'all think y'all some bullies, right? Because let me tell you something about these bullies, these gospel bullies, right? They try to put a bad name on you so people don't want to mess with you because of their relationship, because of how they feel about you. But we're going to get this straight today. You will not bully Bishop Whitehead. And I want you to tag his clown friend, Isaac Kyrie. Yeah, I want you to tag that dummy head is, right? Let me tell you who Bishop Whitehead is. It's going to say it like he want to say it, and I'm going to tell it like it is, because I ain't scared of none of y'all. Now we got a problem. So, Kirk Franklin, right? Let me tell you something about your skin tight, wanting to be the prince of gospel, wanting to be a sex symbol, right? Let's talk about that. And we're not even going to talk about your scandals. See, I'm from the streets, so I know what's going on. So we're not even going to talk about your scandals, right? We're not going to talk about your scandals. We're going to leave them alone because you're perfect. We want, Uncle Kirk is perfect, right? He just want to talk about other people's stuff, right? But your little skin tight with your chest out, right? Because all you're trying to do is be a sex symbol. Nobody in the gospel community should be singing gospel with their chests out, right? Number one. And then you sit running around here with these skin tight pants on, sliding to the left, sliding to the right. You're confusing the people, Mr. Kirk. You're confusing the people. It's either you are a gospel singer or you are a sex symbol. You can't be both, right? But everybody lets you. But everybody lets you do what you want to do, okay? Because you Kirk. But let Bishop Whitehead stop this right now. I'm gonna put a stop to this right now, right? Keep my name out your mouth. Number one, I care nothing about you and your crew, okay? That's number one. You ain't got a heaven or hell to put me in, and I don't need you to co-sign Bishop Whitehead. I got my own church, I got my own following, and I don't need you Negroes. Because what y'all do is you bully the church. So we got the up and coming. Oh, let me say this. And stop acting like you put Maverick City on. You ain't put Maverick City on. Maverick City brought you back to life. Maverick City was already hot, and you weren't relevant anymore. Okay? Your music wasn't relevant no more. So you wanted to reinvent yourself. Okay? So therefore, you got an anointed crew to come on with you and go on tour, right? You wanted to reinvent yourself, brother. So let's not look at you thinking that you're helping them. No, they helped you, okay? They helped you. That's number one. But what y'all do and what pisses me off is this. Y'all are bullies. Y'all are bullies. That's what y'all are. How are you bullies, right? You guys got so much influence that you lower the young people in. You lower the young people in, and in their minds they're saying, wow, I got an opportunity with Kirk Franklin or whatever gospel singer or preacher it is. I have an opportunity to be with them and this, that, and third. And what y'all do is bully them. Do y'all know how many bishops and pastors go to different states and lower these young boys to their rooms and be raping these young boys? Y'all better do the research. You want to know why they really hate Bishop Whitehead? Because I don't do I'm not a freak like them, right? I want to say some other stuff, but I'm on live and I just want to try to keep it as clean as possible. But they know that I'm not a part of that. They know I'm not a part of that. They're a bunch of freaks and they're a bunch of F-boys. Period, point blank. And at the end of the day, they be lowering these young girls. They be lowering these young boys that's inspired by what God gave them to do, and they misuse it. Kirk Franklin, let me tell you something about Bishop Whitehead. Negro, I don't care if you don't like me for whatever reason, all right? You're going to sit here and talk about, I came to you. Negro, I don't got to come to you, okay? I came to you out of the respect as to what Isaac Kyrie told me. Yo, y'all could do this. So don't think that I'm sweating you, brother, okay? And just know that I got family in Portland. And just know when you came up to one of my family members with a whole transvestite, I can get real crazy with it, brother, okay? I can get real crazy. Now, I'm not saying you did anything with him, I'm just telling you that you came up because my cousin was your neighbor. And he called me and said, yo, cuz, what just happened? I said, what just happened? And he told me what happened. So I'm letting you know, homeboy, all right? Take it easy on Bishop Whitehead, all right? Leave me alone. Leave me alone, because at the end of the day, you can't stop my money and you can't stop me. You can call everywhere, anybody, and tell them, oh, don't let Bishop Whitehead preach at your church. Blackball them. No problem. Because I got my own platform. I'm doing me, okay? Bishop Whitehead is Bishop Whitehead. I'm out here for the people that really love God. And you and guys like Kirk Franklin that's trying to monopolize the game and monopolize the gospel community and all these other freaks. What y'all doing, 90% of y'all that's in the church gonna go straight to hell. And I know that little what you call him? That little gremlin, Larry Reed, is your boy. All right? The one that's behind a lot of this stuff. Okay? Let's talk about how you was texting me and calling me and trying to, yo, what you got else? What else you got coming out about Larry Reed? What else you got coming out? What else you got coming out about Larry Reed? Nobody like him, Doc. Nobody like, and did you want to try to flip on me, Isaac Kyrie? Negro, let me tell you something, bro. I'm different. I'm different, Isaac Kyrie. So just because you on Kirk Franklin's syndicated radio station, you think you gonna jump on me, Negro? Let me tell you something, Isaac Kyrie, all right? Because you was calling me. Yeah, I got the text messages. Texting me, oh my goodness, sending me stuff about Larry Reed. This, that, and the third. Isaac Kyrie. So now all of a sudden, since your boss, tight pants Kirk Franklin, with his chest out, well, how old is he? 60 years old? Running around here with his arms out? Like, come on. Like, come on. Right? So since he don't like me for whatever reason, whoever pissed in his ear, you think you're going to talk about me? Let's talk about how you was texting me when I was letting Larry Reed allegedly child molestation, all that stuff out, right? And there's more to come on him. Watch this. And there's more to come on him, all right? Because he is the one that's behind a lot of this stuff, and it all boils down to bullying. Church bullies. Church bullies. So Kirk Franklin, let me tell you something about Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead. Bring on all the smoke. If y'all don't know this, bring on the smoke. Bring the smoke. Bring on all of the smoke, okay? Kirk Franklin and whoever like you that don't want to now get to know me, so what? You're going to miss out on a great person. Don't ever think you can punk or play with me. And don't have me do a song like 50 Cent did about all you gospel singers, you pastors, you bishops. Because let me tell you something. I'll go in the studio. I promise you I will, y'all. I promise you I will. I'll go in the studio and put out a song blasting all of y'all. Because I know what y'all did last summer. Okay? I know what you did last summer. All right? And then y'all want to run to this, to the modern day Cleo, Bishop Jordan, right? The modern day Cleo, Bishop Jordan, right? Where you got to pay for the prophecy, right? But they don't know that I know. Well, they don't know that I know that there is a list running around here. A major gospel singer, and he's a man, gave a disease to another man, and the courts ordered that gospel singer to write a list of all the men he slept with. And that gospel singer and that list had a lot of bishops, prophets, pastors, ministers of the gospel. All right? And that's why they don't like Bishop Whitehead. Because you know what? I stay in my lane. I ain't the one to gossip. But y'all don't play with me. Do not play with me. Okay? Leave Bishop Whitehead alone. I just want to preach. I want to build a community. I want to build God's people. Y'all got mad when I had 50 Cent in my pulpit, when I had the different rappers in my pulpit, but yet they giving their life to God. When I got gang members in my church, Y'all want to sit here and talk about that. Let me tell you something. I don't recycle save folk. But let me tell you this. There is a list of names. Y'all know I ain't this YouTube or blogger that we gotta lie. I ain't gotta lie. That has a number of bishops and a number of pastors. A number of bishops and a number of pastors and a number of prophets. They are all male that slept with this male. Y'all leave me alone. Kirk Franklin, I went easy on you just now. Keep my name out your mouth.
Now remember, that was a heavy ass video, and like I said, where was Bishop Lamar and all these other pastors out here, okay, when we had that preacher show going on? Because this is the wine that we needed. We needed the real behind the scenes, because I didn't even know. I knew the church was messy, but I didn't know it was that messy, okay? And speaking of messy pastors, prophets, we finally got our exclusive trailer, okay, to the first installment of our PPP series, okay? Is it a pastor? Is it a prophet? Is it a pedophile, okay? Let me go on and roll this trailer, and I'll be back with Bishop Lamar Whitehead's official statement about this here messy ass live that he did, okay? Take a look at this trailer. Woo!
So I remember standing up, and he was like, well, he pulled his camera, pulled the computer, he turned the computer around and like turned the camera on the computer. And he was like, well, just dance. Like, you just dance. He's like, we'll record it and you just dance. And I'm standing there naked. In my mind, confused as hell, for one, because I'm like, first, I'm not finna dance naked in my mind or something thinking, but I didn't have the balls to be like, no. I didn't have the balls to just say no. Yeah. But I'm trying to make it I'm trying to present like I'm just like confused or like weird about like, you know. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not dancing naked. What are you talking about? And so he was like, well, why don't you just turn around and just turn around in a circle? So I started weirdly turning in a circle, and I look back and I see the cover doing this. See the cover moving like this. He started jacking off. He started jacking off.
Does he ever ask you at any time for you to penetrate him?
As I said, where are they when you need them, okay? This is the television that we need. And remember, this whole PPP series is going to be exclusively streamed on TashaKLive.com, all right? Get your wine, because you're going to need it. And just pray to Jesus before you drink it so that you know Jesus made this wine, because you're going to need a whole lot when this first segment is over of our PPP series, all right? Like I said, I'm already drunk from it, and I've been through it, and I've watched it, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot to digest, okay? Please head on over to TashaKLive.com, create your account, then you can download the app as well as on Roku or any other site that you have, because we everywhere, we global, okay? Now, I spoke to Bishop Lamar Whitehead about this live that he made, and he said that this had a lot to do with him being invited to a Kirk Franklin concert, okay? And when he got there, he was invited by Kirk Franklin's team, and had, of course, because he was given VIP tickets, he decided to introduce himself to Kirk Franklin to say thank you, okay? And then wanted Kirk Franklin to know who he was as far as the pastor or the bishop that was robbed, okay? And that was that. He said him and his wife decided to take him up on the offer when he was invited, but then once he left, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. Okay, this wine is working. But then as he was there, he noticed that Kirk Franklin was kind of giving him the side eye, looking at him up and down like, nigga, why the fuck are you in my space? Why are you introducing yourself to me? I don't fuck with you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know how they be. Kirk Franklin's short. Bishop Lamar Whitehead just a little taller, but he's still short. And Kirk Franklin had the nerve to size him up. And so with Bishop Lamar Whitehead looking down and Kirk Franklin looking up, you know what I'm saying? He could very well take that as Kirk Franklin trying to size him up, but he realized he couldn't really do nothing because he's a midget. You know what I'm saying? And so, they left it at that. He got his wife. The wife got her Gucci purse, and they left and went home. And then he got a call from the team to say that Kirk Franklin didn't fuck with him. He said, well, if Kirk Franklin Franklin didn't fuck with me, why did he invite me to the show, okay? Why was I invited to this show? And I know that he said this because of the way that he looked at me. And so when he got that information, he loaded up, because you got to understand, this man is under a lot of pressure. He's a federal indictment. He got people out here, you know what I'm saying, fucking with him, coming into the church. He having to, you know, chase people out the church. They fucking with his money. They fucking with his press. They tying him politically to stuff. He got a federal indictment. And so, you know what I'm saying, they called him at the wrong day and the wrong time, and he decided to load up this live and go live. And so it was really coming from anger, like a very, very misplaced frustrations. It was coming from misplaced anger, okay, directed at the wrong folk. And I don't think that Kirk Franklin should have gotten this much energy, because I feel that, and I told Bishop Lamar this, it did not project him in the best light. And he has to understand there's a lot of people out here that don't like him. First of all, you're flashy. First of all, you're black. You're a preacher, okay? You out here supposedly making money and stuff. It pisses a lot of people off, and that's what causes the fans to want to open up an investigation or believe people when they say that you're doing certain things because of the lifestyle that you live in. You don't need to take it from me. You don't need to be using social media to be vengeful over somebody not liking you, because at the end of the day, like I told him, you have more important problems, and you don't want these people keeping you frustrated over here. Meanwhile, they building a whole case over here that you need to pay attention to. And I realize it's stressful when you're dealing with feds and indictments and bad press from people, and I know how I can push you to the edge. And so as a conclusion of me on the outside looking in and exercising grace, okay, that's what God told us to do. It's what the bishops told us to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're not perfect, okay? Everybody on that list that he's supposed to have ain't perfect. And I really want the list. I should have asked him for the list. Matter of fact, I'm going to go and ask him for the list. Why I didn't ask for the list at first? Maybe I was scared to look at the list, but I'm going to look at it, though, and I'm going to come back to y'all, and I'm going to report to y'all who on the list and who got what disease and stuff like that, because I think everybody should know, because these pastors out here, they are for the community. When they say they are for the community, they are for the community mentally, physically, spiritually, and penally, okay? And so we got to be careful. So I think everybody's inclined to the same list that the health department has, okay? And so with that being said, I think Bishop Lamar Whitehead just needs to take a trip. He needs to go meditate, okay? Take his wife on a beautiful trip and say the fuck off of Instagram with lives like this, because like I said, at the end of the day, when people mad and you do stuff like this, it's going to make them matter. But I do understand the perspective in which he came from, because it's coming from a lot of bottled up anger, because he is tired. And a lot of people can't take this media. A lot of people ain't me. You understand? They don't have thick skin like me, so I understand where he's coming from, okay? And so with that being said, now I gotta go. Buckery Friday. This is part 1, okay? Now you guys know we're gonna head over and do part 2 on TashaKLive.com, uncensored, raw, exclusive, okay? And so to prepare you for our second leg of the show on TashaKLive.com, we got exclusive information on Mr. Garrett Owen, okay? He just can't keep his penis out the black community, okay? We're also gonna be talking about Miss Neek, all right, from Love After Lockup, all right? I got some exclusive information on this here relationship. You're going to be thoroughly shocked if you are a fan of the show, okay? And I was shocked. I'm sure you'll be shocked, but I'm gonna tell you what is really fucking going on with this here relationship, okay? And it ain't got shit to do with her weight, okay? It's got everything to do with a said check, okay? And that's what we'll be discussing, plus more on TashaKLive.com right after this show. Thank you all so much for watching, okay? If you want to advertise on my platform, please feel free to hit us at businesstashak@gmail.com. That is businesstashak@gmail.com, and Chelsea will get right with you to discuss your advertising needs. Also, if you have tips on your favorite celebrities, please feel free to shoot me an email via unwinewithtashak@gmail.com. That comes right to me, okay? Right to me. Or you can hit me in a DM on Instagram at unwinewithtashak.com. Happy 400K on Instagram. Happy 120,000 on Facebook, okay? We are growing because I am essentially putting the energy into growing these platforms. And happy 100K on Wino's podcast, okay? We'll be unveiling our award here shortly on Wino's podcast, so make sure you're subscribed to that Also, don't forget, on Monday, January 16th, we will be starting our 14-day detox together. All of that is only accessible on TashaKLive.com. $12, you get a 14-day detox, okay? I don't want to hear that it's too expensive for $12, and these people out here charging, okay, hundreds if not thousands of dollars for a detox, all right? So we're going to be unveiling that, and we're going to be detoxing together with me, okay? Exercising, eating right, meditating, all right? Fasting, all the above, so get ready. Matter of fact, start cleaning out your body now, taking the sugar out, taking the meat out, and head your butt on over to TashaKLive.com to get this collection, because we're going to have 14 days together, okay? And we're going to be irritable, we're going to be angry, but yet we're going to feel whole when we're done, okay? Now, also don't forget, we just dropped a full interview with Gunplay, okay? Rick Ross's artist, as well as Love and hip hop star. He came through to discuss him robbing niggas for a living, okay, and his past drug issues, him now being married to a federal agent, so he's able to dodge a lot of charges, and him using voodoo, all right, in order to get out of serving a life sentence, okay? That Gunplay interview, I gotta tell you, is one of a kind, and we're getting nothing but great reviews on TashaKLive.com right now. All right, so we got Gunplay in the wine cellar.
In the wine cellar.
Man, this is going to be interesting. I know. You drink wine?
Yeah, I do.
How do you feel about them now having clinics to administer shrooms under a doctor's care because it helps
I think that's
anxiety?
Good. It do because when you do shrooms in moderate dosage, you can cure your own, like you can stop your own habits. You can cure your own PTSD. You can help your own shit. You could even plan for the future. I feel like that's a zone where you can manifest the most at.
Like that shit?
And it's some wild shit. I was like, I don't want that. Just give me the coke. He gave me the coke. And I thought it was coke. I hit it right there. And sometimes when you already high, you know what I'm saying, and you take a bump or something, you don't even feel it because you already flushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you like, and then I'm just like, I'm not feeling nothing. I'm still talking to him, and I'm still high off my other batch that I had, my real batch, and I ain't feel nothing. And he leave, and then I keep hitting it. I'm like, why this shit ain't hitting like that? Ding, 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 ding. And next thing you know, my nigga, I say, oh, that's when I started feeling funny, like out of my body. I felt like I'm out of body right now. Like I felt like I can't move. Like it feels like just to move this, like just to grab this glass right here would take me probably about 30 minutes because my hand doing like this. Because I'm feeling like, so I got stuck, and I went, and they said I went into a K-hole.
You doing voodoo work to beat your life sentence, and it was like everybody in the room just froze up. Let's talk about, this. And it's like, why would you not want to talk about that? Because like we is like, whether you're Afro-Latina, whether you're black, voodoo, I think it was put out there in like a negative way. Yeah. But to this day, like it's still heavily practiced.
You got a lot of Haitian, you know what I'm saying, like women that I know specifically, like one specifically that I've been going to war with on a spiritual warfare. Like she's trying to basically,
take you out of here?
And everybody I love. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, it's real. You know what I mean?
Okay, and also, thank you to my staff, all right, who helped to contribute to put this together. And I can't wait to see you guys for the second leg of the show tonight on TashaKLive.com. So make sure you subscribe. You have about an hour to get that done or less before this show started. And with that being said, now I gotta go, okay? Bye.